Alright guys, we're back yet again. We're going to be going over episode 3 and 4 of Maul, Shadow Lord, which again, these episodes are just getting more and more intense. So for the third episode, we see where, again, Maul is trying to talk to Devin about the whole thing of, you have to adapt, you have to do all this, and I really like how he did with the T having something very normal, kind of like your samurai vibe. And then when she tries to attack him, he just is not surprised, and he plays shadow games with her. And I really love that because it shows of how much within Maul's training that he is a manipulator of the shadows, which again was why, aka the shadow. But he really uses the shadows to manipulate her while his team and his mercenaries are taking everybody out. Because, again, the Pikes do another drop-off, and thanks to all the information they're getting, they're able to destroy that. And Maul is able to kind of test Devin with her skills and get her angry. And she does have promise. I will admit that. She's very skilled with a lightsaber. And I think that's obviously the reason why Maul is invested in her. Because he's like, okay, if you fight like this and I get you angry enough, let me see what you can do. And maybe you can persuade your master, or even you can join me. Which, again, we will see possibly later on. Then also, of course, with Lawson, again, I really don't care about this character. I'm going to be honest. I understand why they're doing it, because he's pursuing Maul, and he's trying to be a dad. And, of course, he talks to Master Daki and explaining that, where a possible location is and why he's trying to do all this. And then his partner, that's the robot, BB-8 or whatever, he continues wanting to call the Empire. Even going to episode 4, he wants to call the Empire, but his chief puts him on desk duty. And then when they finally do get a location on Maul, he's wanting to call the Empire. But as soon as that occurs, guess what? He just, does it anyway at the very end, because Lawson gets a location from, Master Daki, and him and Devin go to this location as well to face off against Maul. And Maul gives him the ultimatum, which was a very good ultimatum, mind you, that, let him do whatever he wants and he'll have protection, and that way the Empire doesn't get called. That way it's not an issue for either one of them, but it still happens. And so they have this fight break out, and I'm sitting here going, okay, you really think that a bunch of cops are going to be able to take on Mandalorians, and also Zag Brass? That's what really gets me. And they get annihilated, and Maul even goes up against Devin and her master, and he annihilates them. He almost takes out her master, but he stops, even with her as well, because I think he's wanting her to realize, even trying to give them an ultimatum of like, look, why are you doing this? Why are you, becoming scrappers? Why are you hiding? Why aren't you fighting? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? All these things, right? And I loved how they were able to put that concept in, pretty much him manipulating and doing everything because he knows what he has to do to be able to survive. And he also does not want the Empire in the way, but sooner or later the Empire will be in the way. And I like how they're able kind of leading what he kind of did with Ezra. I like that. And I'm curious on how long it's going to be before Devin has to side with Maul, and how Maul's going to do that, like I said before. And seeing the Empire now come, we all know there's probably going to be about 1 or 2 Inquisitors. And I think what's going to happen is Maul's going to probably, I wouldn't say kill one of them, because I know one of them we see against with Ahsoka at some point. So I don't think that's going to occur. I think he's going to injure at least about 1 or 2 of them, or both of them, and then Vader may show up, and then we're going to have a possible Maul versus Vader fight. Now, I know there's people that's talked about that already, and a lot of people are looking forward to that. That is going to happen. But I'm actually really loving this show. The only thing I have to say, like I said, that I don't enjoy is the Lawson part, because, I understand what they're trying to do, making it very criminal. They're trying to make it like the, what was it, the 1-3 whatever game that was supposed to be about the underworld, about the criminal underworld of Coruscant, and mixing that with a little bit of what the sequels, what originally was supposed to be, with a new take on it. with Maul. Like I've said, Maul is one of my favorite characters, and I think them doing this with Maul is able to give Star Wars a fresh kind of take rather than what we've been getting in the last few years. Whether it be Andor, whether it be the BS that was the Acolyte, or even issues whatever we had may have had with Ahsoka or the sequels. But again, I'm enjoying Maul. I like how they're kind of mixing a little bit of different aspects into the show, but also kind of keeping it somewhat the after effect of the Clone Wars. And I can't wait to see more. So what do you guys think about these last 2 episodes that just premiered? Because I'm eager for more. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you as always on the next one.